Another important piece of content for your magazine is the editor's note. The editor's note is your chance as the editor to speak directly to your reader. You really want to have a good chunk of text in this one. That's why you need to have 200 to 500 words. So I really want it to be relatively text heavy. What do you talk about in it? You can talk about maybe something you're going to, what's important in this issue. Maybe you're going to, say, hey, we've got some great recipes. Check out our top 10 about this and that. Maybe it's a chance to talk about why this subject is important to you. So it's an opportunity to both create a little bit of content and to really set the mood. Is it going to be fun and crazy? Is it going to be really minimalistic and black and white? So let's take a peek at the uh, rubric real quick. I forgot to open it. Let me double check it. Let me browse. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so for your editor's note, what are we looking for? Let's make this a little bit bigger. I'm looking for you to have section headline. So editor's note, some type of subheads, make that text really easy to read. Looking for you to incorporate your logo somehow. Remember, when you incorporate your logo, it can be a watermark, it can be in the footer, it can be really small. It needs to be 200 to 500 words. I'll show you a trick on how to figure that out. Use those text frame options. As always, use fewer text frames and let the software work for you. You have to have some type of contact information. You must include the email, a phone number, and social media. Make sure you're branding it for your publication. I'm looking for at least one graphic element and photo credits. As always, looking for your correct resolution and styles. You need to be organizing it with layers, so making sure you're paying attention to how the software works, and then your inspiration tear sheet on the pasteboard. So I said, how do you figure out how many words you've got? So I've got my editor's note here. I've got some dummy text. I'm going to go ahead and use my text tool and type in there. I'm going to go up to Window and come down here to Info. And Window Info right here will go ahead and count all those words for me. So it's very easy for me to see how I'm doing on word count. So it's not because I'm sitting here counting all your words. I want you to have a good chunk of text. It has to be a relatively text heavy page. How are you going to deal with that element? So let's look at some other ideas. Let's go ahead and take a peek at closing that. And let's go ahead and take a peek at here. Let's look at editor's note. So if you go into Canvas, you're going to see some in Google Drive, you've got some different samples from other students. So here we've got a student who did a really big drop cap. There is a tutorial for that you should have a link to. So you're trying to come up with some type of letter, some type of graphic element. So remember, graphic element doesn't always have to be a page or a picture. And then don't forget, you need to have that contact information. So you're looking for those different types of elements. You really want to make sure this is your chance to brand your brand this content for your publication. So this one did a side-by-side of, here's my information, here's my letters to the editor. They used the drop cap, they incorporated their logo, have that signature. They do need a little bit more on their social media, but this is relatively close. So as always, remember that the rubrics may have changed from when you did it last. So don't take these as exact copies. Make sure you're coming up with your own stuff. And you can do a Google search, magazine editor's note layout. So the editor's note is different because it's written from the editor to the reader. It is more personal. It is a conversation. So how are you going to set the mood? How are you going to come up with that information? It's totally up to you as to why you're excited about this. This is part of your portfolio. Why did you choose this topic? What do they have to look forward to? If this is the very first, you can say, hey, it's the very first one, and we're really excited for things to come. This is the reason behind it. You can pretend that you've been publishing for many, many years, and you're trying to come up with, you can comment about, we're so excited that you all you all loved last month's issue. We hope you're going to enjoy this month about coffee shops or whatever it is you're talking about. So really give this as an opportunity to tell your story, and make sure you've got, when you're in InDesign, make sure you got your edit, go to your spelling, Make sure your dynamic spelling is turned on and that you're in the regular normal mode so you can see when you're making those spelling errors. And that's what we're looking for as far as content for your editorial editor's note goes.